Hello friends, this video on gravitation part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Now let us look at the mathematical form of the universal law of gravity. Now, as I mentioned before, as per the statement, the force of attraction between any two objects, if I have two objects m1 and m2, the distance between the two objects is r, then we say that force is directly proportional to the product of the masses. Force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So from these two, we can say that force is directly proportional to m1, m2 divided by r square. Now, in order to convert this proportionality into equality, we have to introduce a constant. So the constant which we introduce is a capital G, and this G is known as the gravitational constant. So this is known as universal gravitational constant. It has got a fixed value, and the value of G is, we will talk about that again. So m1 and m2 are the masses of the two bodies, r is the distance between them. So this is the famous universal law of gravitation. F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So now for your curiosity, if you want to know that, let us suppose if you have kept two pens on the table, right? So you want to know how much is the force of attraction between the two pens. You can find it out very easily if you know the masses of the two pens. You can find out the distance between the two pens using a meter scale, right? And then you can put those values in this formula, and I will tell you the value of universal gravitational constant. So you can put those values and calculate the force. So then you will see that the force is very small between the two bodies, because of which you really don't see them coming towards each other because of the attraction. So now let us talk about the gravitational constant. So this gravitational constant is always denoted by a capital G. Okay. So now how do we determine the value of, how do we know the SI unit for G? As I mentioned, force is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So from this we can say G is equal to F r square divided by m1 m2. Right? So from this we can derive the unit of gravitational constant. Force is Newton, radius, this r is distance, that is meter, so Newton meter square per kg square, because for mass it is kg. So this is the SI unit of gravitational constant. Universally accepted value of G is 6.673 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. It is because of the small value of G that when you calculate the force between two objects, the value comes out to be quite less, right? Now how was this value of G determined? Who determined the value of G? It was experimentally determined by a scientist named Henry Cavendish. Now how did he perform the experiment? And you will study about that experiment to determine the value of G in detail in your class 11. So in 11th also you are going to study about the same lesson named as gravitation, but there you will study about everything in little more detail. So right now you are just starting with gravitation, so you are just given an overview of what is gravitation, what causes gravitation, what was the universal law of gravitation. So we are not going into much detail, but in your higher classes you will study everything in more detail. So now what is the significance of this universal law of gravitation? Why are we actually studying this universal law of gravitation? Now this universal law of gravitation could successfully explain the force that binds us to the earth. It actually could explain that why every object is being held by the earth. Why are we able to survive on the earth? Why are we standing on earth? What is actually binding us to the earth? It is nothing but the gravitational force of the earth. It could explain the motion of the moon around the earth. It could explain the motion of the planets around the sun. So all these things were something very significant, right? A theory or a law which could explain the planetary motion. So it has to be important. It could also explain the tides due to the moon and the sun. You would have seen that during a full moon day, you generally have very high tides. That is because of the gravitational pull of the moon. So everywhere you have this gravity playing its role, right? So the law of gravitation could explain many such important phenomena, and because of which it became so popular and it got universally accepted. So with this, we completed our discussion on universal law of gravitation. But the discussion of gravitation is yet not complete. So we will now talk about a new topic, that is free fall. What do you mean by free fall of an object? Have you ever observed that when a person standing at the top floor of a multi-story building and he throws something, or something is missed by him and something falls from his hand, what happens? That object straight away falls to the ground, right? So that is known as free fall. That means an object is falling freely. It has full freedom to fall. That is known as free fall. So an object is said to be in free fall when it falls towards the surface of the earth only under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. That means the force of gravity is the only force acting on that object at that point of time. So the gravitational pull tends to attract that object and the object falls completely. This is known as free fall, right? So why are we talking about free fall? You will get to know very soon. Now during free fall, the direction of motion is unchanged because the motion will be along the same direction and the direction will be downward direction towards the surface of the earth. So the direction of the motion is unchanged. It is not that during free fall your direction will keep changing. Magnitude of velocity increases due to attraction by the earth. Now since the earth is attracting that object, therefore the object tends to move faster towards the ground. So therefore its velocity actually increases. That means there is an acceleration of an object which is under free fall. So a free falling object has an acceleration. And who is responsible for that acceleration? Gravitational pull of the earth. So that is why this acceleration of an object which is falling freely is known as acceleration due to gravity. So under free fall, we are basically going to talk about acceleration due to gravity. So take the example of a person throwing a stone from the top of a multi-story building. So there also the same thing happens. Once the stone is left from his hand, the stone directly goes off and falls to the ground. The only force acting on the stone is the gravitational pull. And because of the gravitational attraction, the velocity of the stone also keeps increasing. And since the velocity increases, that means there is a change in velocity with time. That means the object has an acceleration. So this acceleration is known as acceleration due to gravity. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.